Here is end of chapter 1 of Virus X and then second chapter. The female spider stayed out of people's minds for years, but Tony Adams wanted to find her. After all, he had known the woman for a long time. Tony was very interested in continuing insect experiments in the future, while Zheng Ligang had something completely different in mind, like zombies. X-Creations Corporation was not going anywhere. On the contrary, Chapter 2, 13th March 2024. Boieng's virus experiments. In 2024, scientist Zheng Ligang worked in a secret X-Creations laboratory in the city of Boieng. It had been 40 years since the first and hopefully last female spider was created. Goddess Sipla had given birth to a new cult that believed in her. They had never actually seen her. He had tested the X-virus 3 months ago on a monkey capable of spitting out of dust particles that effectively spread the virus. The monkey's code name was Infector. Zhengli did not intend to use it as it was, but it would be best to implant in a human body. X-Creations had planned to first spread the X-virus to China and America. The X-virus would be a new weapon for biological warfare, which unprecedented something unprecedented. Zhengli didn't care about human lives at all. 2 months ago, Zhengli had successfully implanted the virus in a human. He had been developing a virus since the 90s that would turn a human into a zombie. He was not the only one who had been developing such a thing. He had made a kind of variant that would turn the infected into what he named main infector. Well, this works better than expected. I noticed changes in the test subject 4 hours after the virus injection. The transformation process is extremely aggressive. The test subject is locked in a safe room. The infection would not be detected yet when the carrier aborted a plane, train or ship, he narrated into his voice recorder. Good job, Sengligang, one of his colleagues said. We are going to change the world forever. The X-virus is my farewell gift to the world. I have just created the world's first zombie. Or something even better. Evolution rises to a new level. Send one guinea pig into the cell with Project X. No, don't put me in there with that monster, guinea pig number 6 screamed. The guard drew him into the dungeon, or like cell. The guinea pigs were ordinary people who were here against their own will as prisoners. Their names were not used. Each of them had only a number. Zheng Kang intended to infect all of them with the virus, all 27. No one had stopped him from kidnapping people from the streets of Boieng. The man was doing something big, and his last task would be to become a monster himself. As a human, he was already a monster. It would not be good to fool around with such a virus. Such a virus. How long could he keep that monster locked in a cell? Guinea pig number 6 came back to life from the dead and changed. Project X did not attack the man who turned into a zombie, but both of them tried to get out of there. Project X was a young American woman. Zhengli was left alone outside the cell with his voice recorder. The most interesting thing is this: Project X does not attack the person it has changed. They are bound to cooperate by a natural desire to attack me. Their intelligence can grow over time. If they are allowed to develop peacefully for weeks, months, or years, or even years, what would that mean in practice? I am talking about theory of evolution now. This is not the new kind of terrorism, but purely evolution. The dead return to life, and this is not magic, but purely science. This is not science fiction, but reality. I will be back to this moment. Oh, I will get back to this morning, he said, stopping the voice recorder. Next day, he infected all his test subjects with the virus, and they were locked in the cells. He would release them later. The guards of the secret laboratory were well armed. There were 15 of them in this main laboratory located in a basement. Their primary weapons were M4 assault rifles, and the secondary standard weapon was a shotgun. They were significantly fewer guards on the other floors, 5 or 7 per floor. No guards were at the exit, but the automatic miniguns would come out if someone attacked. No one could just attack here. The cells were located just behind a couple of titanium doors. Even if his creations accidentally got out of the cells, the titanium doors would keep them away from scientists. In addition to Zheng Ling and Li, three other scientists worked on this floor. This main laboratory was located at kilometer deep. The floor was called P6, which could be reached by elevator. There were also stairs here. Floor, Floors P1 and P2 housed the staff's sleeping quarters. Many rarely left early for safety reasons. The residents of Boieng had no idea of the existence of such a facility. Floors B3 and B4 had smaller laboratories and weapon stores. Floor B5 had dining facilities and the main control room where all activity was monitored around the clock. The X-virus itself was stored in refrigerator in the main laboratory. A Japanese female DX agent, Jing Sakanagi, was on the trail of Zheng Ligang. She knew about this secret facility and was currently observing the entrance. She knew about the miniguns and was prepared to destroy them. The woman was very beautiful, half Chinese and half Japanese, with the blood of samurai flowing within her veins. She had never met her real father, who was born in China sometime in the late 50s. The surname Sakanagi came from her mother, who died in 2001. She was murdered, but the perpetrator was never found. The case was still open on a list of unsolved crimes. Shinx had recently turned 36 and had been working as an agent for DX for a total of 14 years since 2010. DX was a secret police anti-terrorism unit that was established in 1996. It had warned numerous terrorist attacks here in China, Japan, South Korea, Africa, and even Europe, of which news anchors did not even dream. Social media did not know about these operations, which was good. Public panic was to be curbed. The ancient had performed real heroic deeds and were not allowed to tell anyone about them. DX was never fought against this kind of bioterrorism, which these scientists were now planning under the leadership of Zheng Ligang. This is so long that I have to read this in two parts.